All right, now you talk.
Talk, talk, talk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V.
Yeah, my mom knows the alphabet.
W, X, Y, Z.
I think you have such a soft voice too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
I don't even remember my French.
10.
Yo, yo, yo.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
1, 2,
7, 8, 9,
3.
10.
You got a new banner
11.
about the thing you done. Mine sounds weird. Mine sounds weird now. Yo, yo,
Yo.
yo, 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 yo. It sounds like I'm in another room. It sounds like I'm in another room.
You are.
Hello?
You are in another room. Just your body is here.
Stop
Your
it.
mind is drifting
Okay,
elsewhere.
Mom.
Inside the head of John Malkovich. Like literally the entire floor and the sofa and everything was covered with presents.
Oh, yeah, I know. Did you ever see the situation at Grandma's house?
No.
I used to build present forts. You know what I mean? This sounds so weird. I wish I could get one of those pictures. Oh, did I show you the new pictures I got?
No.
I got a whole 2 more albums of pictures from when I was a baby.
Like from Grandma?
Yeah, like Marianne got them from her friend or something. I don't know. There's nudies of me and you know, like
nudies.
Like in the bath
Uh-huh.
and just hanging like really young, like first couple years.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know why this sounds so weird. Hello, hello. Maybe there's a button on here. I don't know. Check, check, check. I don't know. It sounds so weird.
Is it because you're using different headphones?
That could be it. But
You want to switch again?
yo, yo. No, it's fine. Okay. You can hear yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna scan them all and send them back.
Cool.
What else? So the balloon video and the balloon video. And what else were we talking about? I can't remember. Did I tell you about my roommate's friend that stayed here?
No, which roommate?
Rachel's friend.
Dude?
Girl.
No, you didn't tell me.
I didn't?
No.
Have I talked to you since I've been back? Have we seen each other?
Very little.
When did we see each other?
That's a good question. I don't think we have.
No, we haven't.
No.
Oh. Well, she messaged me while I was... God, it sounds so weird. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me just try another hands. Yo, yo, yo. Let's see if I'm plugged in. This doesn't even sound like I can hear anything. Oh, that's why. Yo, 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 yo. It sounds so weird. I definitely don't want to do the One Direction headphones. Those things suck. Yo, check.
Yo. Did you get tired of yo-yos?
Yeah. Yeah, at least you haven't said shit.
Slinky, slinky, slinky. Slinky, slinky.
Oh, so anyway, so she messages me while I'm in, while I was in, Illinois. And, she's like, oh, my friend's staying here. And I was like, the friend that's on meth? And she's like, shit. Yeah. She's, trying to get clean.
Yeah.
And I had moved all my stuff in here, or a lot of my stuff from my room to get ready to paint.
Because
and I just left it in there.
Yeah.
And I left my cubicle with all my change and stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a Airheads container full of penny pennies, nickels, and dimes.
Right.
And then I have a Ziploc bag just full of quarters. And then I also had a bunch of $2 bills.
Yeah.
Like, because every once in a blue moon, I'll get a $2 bill as a tip. And I just put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
As kind of like as a little souvenir. Silly souvenir, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I called her and I was like, well, and the equipment in here.
Yeah.
I was like, well, dude, like, I don't know, there's a lot of expensive equipment. I left all my, change and stuff. It was like over $20 in change and random stuff. And I had cash in my room. I was worried she'd search my room and find the cash.
Right.
Like, who knows? They're tweakers. They're unpredictable.
Exactly.
And she's like, I trust her. And I'm like, trust and tweaker don't belong in the same sentence.
Oh, I saw that post.
Yeah, they don't belong in the same
No,
sense.
they really don't.
Even if they're your parent or kid.
Yeah.
Think about it. I was watching this show on heroin with my dad, and the kids are all talking about how they're stealing money from their parents and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you have no...
Your sister used to say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that party I had at the house, and you said money showed up missing from your room. Mm-hmm. And I was like, how much money was there? And you were like, $100. I'm like, how much is missing? And you were like, 40 or something like that. I go, only people that know you would steal part of the money. Because if they'd never been to the house before, they don't care. They're just going to take all the money.
Yeah.
But they want to make it seem like they feel bad that they're taking all of it, and they want to make it seem like they want to make you think that maybe I miscounted that, or...
Yeah.
But anyways. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so she messaged me, and I called her. I'm like, I don't know. I go, well, can you at least take that money out of the room? She's like, it'll be fine. I come back, money's gone.
Yeah.
But then it's just one thing after. First thing, I walk in the front door, and there's like some pillows on the ground and stuff. Like, she heard I was coming back.
Yeah.
And just knew I think she had already taken the money and spent it or something.
Gotcha.
So she knew if I went down there, I'd instantly notice and start questioning her.
Yeah.
And I knew it was her because I literally put the cabinets in that room the day I left. Because I moved them, remember it was Christmas Eve? Mm-hmm. I moved them in there the day I left. Whoops. So I knew it had to be her.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I moved it in there a month ago and there'd been a bunch of people in and out. So anyways, so I go in there and it smells like smoke. And I look and she's got like bowls, like the bowls from the kitchen, just filled with cigarette butts, and there's ashes all over the bedspread and the carpets and the table. And
gross.
I'm just like, is she a special kind of white trash? I mean, like, it's one thing to be completely disrespectful, but if you're going to smoke cigarettes in a house that you didn't ask if you could smoke cigarettes in, aren't you going to hide it?
Oh, no.
You just leave it out? Don't clean up after yourself. You leave all the bowls and the cups out. And then what really set me off was she took my chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Remember that one I bought for you? Took a few bites out of it and then threw it in the garbage can and let it go bad. I mean, are you trying to piss me off? Yeah, I mean, what sense does that make?
That doesn't make any sense.
If you're going to eat somebody's food and leave some, wouldn't you at least put it back in? It's going to go bad, obviously, if you leave it out indefinitely.
Maybe she left it out and it all melted.
Oh, she passed out.
Threw it away. Yeah.
She was getting high or something. I bet she was still getting high,
Or she took a phone
you know
call.
You know what she did? This is addict mentality. She knew she was coming up here to get clean.
Yeah.
So she took what drugs she had left with her.
Of course she did.
And was going to do that whole, I'm just going to smoke the rest of this, and then after that, I'm going to stop.
Uh-huh.
But what ended up happening was she smoked it all, ate my ice cream, left it out, let it go bad, stole my money, realized I was coming back, was out of drugs, and was like, I gotta go back to Methford and get more meth.
Yeah.
Because she probably doesn't know where to get meth up here. It's really sad. So that really pissed me off. And she spilled the marshmallows, and she was drinking. I specifically sent a text message to Garrett and Rachel. There was 2 things of eggnog in there. Yeah. There was a pint that was like half full, and there was that half gallon that you'd bought me.
Yeah.
I said, you guys can drink the pint, but the half gal, just leave it.
Yeah.
Or don't open it.
Yeah.
I get here. She opened the half gal, and the pint still had the eggnog in it. They were right next to each other. And she spilled. Rachel bought a canister of those little marshmallows you put in your cocoa.
Yeah.
They're like these little hard, like Lucky Charms type.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're delicious. And she, like, I don't know, running out the door, she took a big mouthful and spilled them all over the ground. It just leaves them. I don't understand people. When you're on those drugs, you just have no respect. You know, remember internal, external locus of control?
Hey, there are tons of people like that who aren't on drugs. They're just assholes.
That's true. That's true. But drugs make people more assholes. There's no way it makes you better.
I think it just either highlights or exacerbates, say, your qualities you have already.
But you know what? It all goes back to internal, external locus of control. Because if you take responsibility for your actions and you clean up after yourself, because I bet she goes through life thinking everybody hates me and it's their fault and blah blah blah, and this, you know, always blaming other people. Like, I bet if me and Rachel confronted her about it, she'd be like, you're making a big deal out of this for no reason and this and that. It's like, well, if you just would have cleaned up after yourself and not stole the money and been a respectable person, we wouldn't have anything to say.
Maybe nobody ever taught her to be a respectable person.
That's true too, Mom. I mean, I think people in our society really do like to complain about a lot of stuff.
They do. But then there are also people who have no parenting skills having children.
Yeah, that's what I think is the most important thing. That I was trying to... I started a list of things that could help going forward with this war. I actually had one really cool one. Things that could help going forward. Because this problem's never going to go away, but you can make it a whole hell of a lot better. And one of them was to get people before they start having kids. And I always use myself as an example, because if I'd have had a kid when I was 22 with Chrissy, it'd have been a disaster. You know, the kid would be 13 right now.
Right.
We'd probably still be alcoholics or something. You know, we would have been broke up. We would have hated each other. We would have been bashing the other parent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the kid would have been being raised around. I mean, who knows? I don't know. Maybe I would have gotten straight a lot earlier. Maybe I would have gotten more off the deep end. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I'm glad I waited, because if I had a kid in a few years,
right,
that kid would be so much. All you can do is make the next generation better, and that kid would be so much better than what would have happened if I would have had him when I was my dad's age. Oh my. Can you imagine? You know, I mean, when I graduated high school and moved out on my own, I was really lost. I didn't understand how the real world worked.
Yeah.
You know, and because Dad wasn't around very much, he didn't teach me how to be a man, or how to be an adult. I'm not trying to make this a sexist thing.
He wasn't too interested in you until you knew how to play ball.
Or guitar. Yeah, right? And then we had something to identify with.
Yeah.
You know, he's really in denial.
Yeah.
Massive levels of denial. We talked a lot. We spent a lot of time this trip. A lot of one-on-one time. I worked with him for a day.
Mm-hmm.
The last day I was there, we hung out, went bowling, shot pool, and, you know, we were going out to dinner.
Cool.
Because Mary and Maya went to London Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And, I mean, his levels of denial are profound. I mean, I have example after example, and it's just every time I tell a story, oh, it's not like that, that's not how it happened. I'm like, oh no, it's very vivid in my mind. That's what happened. I mean, he has a completely different view. And the whole family too. And you know what's funny, because the whole family, we had a lot of serious conversations, because you know Miranda and Amber had these 2 kids with basically deadbeat dads.
Right.
Well, Amber's boyfriend, he's getting his stuff together. He sounds like an okay guy.
You're right.
I mean, I've only met him a couple times, but they've been together for a few years. You know, he's gotten a job. You know, he's trying. Miranda's boyfriend, from what I understand, is a psychopath. Did I tell you he's killing cats and stuff like that?
You told me. So
I guess the neighbor saw him like drowning a cat in like a bucket or something. And
so what happened?
And one day saw him, the cat was chained and he was like kicking it and stuff like that. I mean, just morbid serial killer type stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like leaving the baby alone with this guy, with this maniac. But anyways, the point of what I'm trying to say is, you know, they're telling me all this stuff, and I start giving them the whole, I go, well, you know, they're choosing to be with men that are abandoning and unavailable, emotionally unavailable and things like that because their dad disappeared. And they're like, what? Well, whoa. I go, think about it. And I go, and you know, all of these problems that all the families having and everything comes from Clifford's alcoholism.
Yeah.
And then when I started talking about Clifford, I go, don't get me wrong, I love the guy to death.
Yeah.
But he had his faults.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you hear you get everybody by themselves, and you hear them all talking about, you hear them all talking about, you know, all the bad stuff he did.
Well, and can you imagine being a teenager and having to grow up with that, everybody knowing that your dad's always drunk down at the local bar?
Well, yeah, but back then, I mean, nobody even. I don't think. Well, even now, what am I saying? Back then, people are in such denial. Even people from the outside looking in, they're never gonna jump and say, "Oh, this guy's an addict. This guy's got problems." You know what I mean? It's all about how you like phrase it and stuff. I can get a lot of people, like if you just go up to them and say, you know, "Hey man, you're an addict," they're like, "No, what are you talking about?" But if you start asking them those qualifying questions,
right?
Do you ever drink alone? All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever drink to not get drunk? You know, like you just drink one beer or one shot? No, I always get wasted. You ask them a bunch of those questions and you go, well, you know, you might be an alcoholic. And then they go, well, I never thought about that. So it's like, it's all like the line of questioning.
Yeah.
It's like any great interviewer.
Yeah.
Well,
your dad learned how to make all kinds of excuses from Clifford.
Yeah.
Justification.
And you know, that's what I figured out in therapy, why I lied. I was so mortified I remember I was so mortified of you getting upset at me.
Yeah.
I vividly remember this. That I figured if I lied and got away with it, it never happened.
Yeah.
So I would lie through my teeth.
Yeah.
Lie through my teeth. And then if you found out, I would just say, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Oh, I was going to ask you a question earlier. I remember finally. You were talking about Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And you always get forgiven. Well, can you just not go to church your entire life and then right before you die, just go to church once and ask to be forgiven?
Sure.
And go to heaven?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I'm going to go right before I die.
You have to be sincere.
Oh, I'll be sincere. Because I'll be dying. And I'll be like, please, God. Oh, but anyways. Yeah, so the family's just in massive denial. And, you know, when I talk about Grandpa, everybody gets very defensive.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And I'm like, hey, look, man, I think he's a great...
It's like the old don't speak ill of the dead thing.
Yeah. And they're like, he always provided. And he... You know, that doesn't mean he wasn't neglectful or emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
I mean... Or...
I mean, your dad always provided.
Emotionally and verbally abusive. You know? Anyways, did you enjoy your Christmas?
Yeah, I did.
Except for the Christmas Eve. What did you... What did you do on Christmas?
I got up and went to church. And then I went home and I took a nap. I was so exhausted from, just working so many hours that I literally went home and I fell asleep right after church. And I did not wake up until 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
It was like a 6.5 hour nap.
You know what? My whole trip worked out perfectly. This is funny. I wasn't even going to record all this. This is like actually turning into an episode, but I was just going to be a practice.
Mm-hmm.
But my trip all worked out perfectly. It was awesome.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Here's your tools back.
Oh, thank you.
And I told my dad how much you like those dried fruits.
Oh, sweet.
So he bought us a case.
Oh, my gosh.
It was funny because the case
was
this huge box, like this big.
Yeah.
And it was half a pound.
Yeah.
of the dried fruit.
I know.
Because like each one of these is like 0.35 ounces. You know what I mean? 0.42. Oh, the different ones weigh much. These dried cherries are delicious.
Ooh, dried
you could literally eat this entire box and not even be full.
Yeah.
It's really a light snack.
Cool.
But he bought this and he said split it with your mom.
Awesome.
So I was like, all right. They work out to like 70 cents each when you buy them by bulk.
That's not bad at all.
Oh yeah, here is your pickle.
Oh, thank you.
And your Starship thing back.
Oh, good.
You can hold on to that. Did you like that?
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, gotta have it. I wanted to buy an old generation one, but it was like $50.
Oh yeah.
Because
I believe it.
They're hot.
Yeah.
What the hell? Why is everything wet?
Uh-oh.
Oh, it was in the trunk of my car. But
Trunk
nothing was leaking in there. No, it was maybe the dew point was so high.
I don't know. No, that seems odd.
Yeah, it's just the dew point was so high. Oh, and you can return this because it comes with drill bits. Actually, let me check. I wanted the drill bits like that drill into a wall. The little things like this with this.
Oh yeah, it doesn't, does it?
It doesn't have those.
Oh man, sorry.
That's the ones I need.
Yeah.
I haven't even opened this. I got a bunch of new headphones too.
But you should check out that screwdriver in there. Cause you get more torque.
That's what she said.
You know how if you use a normal screwdriver, you're just screwing it like this?
Oh, yeah.
That when you grab it by the handle and turn.
I know, but I think the other one will be good enough.
Okay.
Plus, I figured the extra... you know what? It's nothing personal. Like, whenever I never want you to spend money. I mean, like, it's kind of like... I think sometimes you're trying to find something to buy for me, and you just buy a bunch of stuff. And I feel bad because I don't want you to spend your money.
Well, I buy stuff for you throughout the year, like that Neil deGrasse Tyson shirt. So I literally back in like May.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just see stuff.
That shirt. I already wore that shirt, and I showed it to a bunch of people. It doesn't have bits in here.
Oh shit.
Well, no. I'll just keep that then. That works out. I'll have this screwdriver too. I actually needed another. I have that one, and I figured if I lost it, I'd be up a creek without a paddle.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got lug nuts too. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I actually need lug nuts for this table.
I thought you were gonna need those. Yeah.
I need lug nuts for this table.
Okay.
I was like, how am I gonna tighten this? I've been tightening this table with my hands. Well, this worked out perfect.
Yeah, so I got you these presents and I wrapped them, right? And I thought, shit, that doesn't look like anything. And then I remembered the presents that I bought you throughout the year. And I said, oh shit, I still have that that blue shirt and that Neil deGrasse Tyson shirt and shit that I bought you.
Wow, Mom, with the S word again.
Sorry. And then I forgot that I had already given you 3 shirts. Remember, I got you the 2 Christmas sweaters.
Oh, yeah.
And the Norman's rare guitars
because
you opened because it was delivered here.
And it said Norman.
Yeah.
It said Norman from the set, but I just saw Norman. I'm like, cool, opening.
Yeah.
I really need to pay more
attention.
attention.
Christmas, and I had all this presents. I thought, shit, he's already got like 5 presents from me. Oops, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm just seeing my level over here.
Oh.
I know. I kept getting all these packages. I see Kevin. I see Norm. I'm just like opening it. And then I realized I'm like, Kate Kevin. Because I open up your like rosary beads.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this? I didn't order this. Yeah, this is cool. This is all perfect. I have an extra pair of needle nose pliers too. Like.
Well, see, they sell those packages like that. It's like, okay, I really just want the screwdriver, but it's cheaper to buy them in a pack like that than to actually go buy a screwdriver. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you know what? That's great. I need all that stuff now. Thank you. Those are perfect gifts. I was just being a retard.
You can't say that.
No. Oh, yeah, that's Actually, you can use the word retard in the right context, which means to slow down.
Oh, retard.
Retard.
As a verb.
Okay. Now, this, Mom, I'm sorry.
It's just not doing it for you, huh?
I'm not going to wear this.
Okay.
I mean, I appreciate it, but you should just... You bought it?
Yeah.
Or did you find it at St. Vinny's or something?
No, I bought all your stuff.
Eddie Bauer?
Yeah.
I don't know where you bought it, though. Do you remember?
No, because I bought that like in last March or April.
Oh, my God. Are you serious? Maybe Target, Walmart, Macy's.
Walmart doesn't carry Eddie Bauer.
Well, snap. Well, I mean, I'll call around.
Give it to somebody.
Huh?
Give it to a friend.
Nobody's going to wear that.
Okay, I'll take it.
And
I'll find somebody.
This shirt, too.
Which one?
The striped one.
Okay.
The Neil deGrasse Tyson one was cool. The Norman's Guitars one was cool. The red dress shirt, I can wear that. This isn't going to get worn.
Okay.
This looks like a chick shirt. I don't know. I love how I always pick them wrong.
Do you do that at your grandma's house too?
Well, she usually just gives me cash now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I probably have done that, of course, especially when I was a kid. Or like Mary bought me some gifts, and some of it I was just like, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah. I'm glad you do that. Your sister never did that.
What?
She always smiled and said, oh, yeah, and she'd take it and then she'd hang it in her closet for months.
Well, exactly.
She would never...
I'm trying to be honest. I mean,
I appreciate that.
In the past, there's been time where you spent a ton of money, and I told you, and I just gave it back to you and told you, go return it.
Yeah.
And get your money back because...
Well, then there was that time we kind of did an intervention and we bought all kinds of stuff and said, here, you try it on here and you pick what you like. You have to pick out 3 shirts and 3 pairs of pants.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff you're wearing looks like
it was
crap.
all dress stuff.
No, it wasn't, Norm. It was jeans.
Oh, okay. Hey, I started wearing jeans at least. Remember I used to always wear khaki shorts?
Or sweatpants.
No, swim trunks.
Oh, swim trunks.
No, I mean, no, because in Arizona, you don't wear sweatpants. I mean, there's really no season
true.
for sweat. I mean, maybe for a few weeks in the winter.
That was here in Arizona. Oh, no.
Oregon. No, in Oregon, I always wear sweatpants.
Yeah.
But,
because you're styling.
Yeah. No, it's just, actually, I thought of a good analogy for this. I wrote a lot of material, on this trip. A lot of great jokes.
Excellent.
Shit, just the last night, or when I got back, I went to the strip club and got a lot of great material from that because I had some time to kill.
Yeah.
But no, I totally lost my train of thought. I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Gifts.
I was just looking for.
Sweatpants.
Sweatpants.
So. Alcoholics and addicts always find excuses to drink or use.
Right.
You know, like when I was drinking, I'd say, oh, I'm having a bad day, I'm going to drink. Or I just got fired from my job, I'm going to get drunk and stoned. Or
I'm having a good day. I'm going to celebrate.
I'm going to celebrate. Oh, we were going to the beach. Oh, we got a drink. Oh, we're watching a movie. Oh, we got a drink. Oh, we're going to cut down a Christmas tree. I got to get high. Just like any reason. So now I find any reason, any excuse to wear my sweatpants. You know what I mean? And not shave. You know, which is going to be a lot easier now because I quit Papa's.
What?
Yeah.
Get out.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is an honest reaction. Yeah. Last night, got into it again.
Yeah.
And it was stupid. I mean, she just has a vendetta for me. I mean, straight up. And I'm just tired of dealing with it. It was just, I worked a double, like from noon to like, you know, probably 7 or 8 is what I would have, or what I worked. Right. I actually got off. It was busy, so I didn't get off till I think 9:15ish.
Yeah.
What are we at? Like 30 minutes? Okay. And normally I take my lunch around, you know, 3 or 4, you know, somewhere halfway between. I got super busy, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till the night drivers come in.
Right.
And which is at 4:45, and you know we get like 4 or 5 drivers in.
Yeah. To
add to the already couple drivers we have. I'm like, then I'll take a break, and then it got even busier, like crazy busy. What was it? New Year's Day. It was New Year's Day. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep working. And then I was like, and then what I'll do is I'll take my lunch right before I'm gonna, you know, basically getting off. And I'll make my pizza and count down. So I actually worked on my lunch. Because it takes you 10, 15 minutes to, you know, park your car, count down, put all your stuff away.
Yeah.
So I actually was working on my break. Because I just wanted to get out and go. Because there was a comedy thing at Lucky's. And Luke was going to meet me there. And he was going to help me with my sound. Because I had some issues I needed to figure out. And, you know, he was in the audio engineering. And whenever you get the more people, you're able to figure stuff out. You know. Because they may see something you don't.
Right.
So I was like, I need to leave right when I get off. And so I took my lunch, you know, before I get off, and she's watching me. And she sees me go to make a salad, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making a salad. And she's like, I hope you're on your break. I'm like, yeah, I'm on my lunch. Like, you think I'm going to do this on the clock? Especially in front of you? You know what I mean? Like nobody else does that? Come on. And, I mean, she just starts getting on me. You're supposed to take your lunch, you know, within the first 6 hours of your shift, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. I'm like, the drivers have done this before. I've done this before. And nobody said anything. Because if it's super busy, they're just, it's just like, oh, it's a guideline. It's a state guideline, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And you guys have never broken the law? I've worked more than 6 hours and didn't take a lunch at all. You know what I mean? But, you know, she's just trying to find anything.
She's confrontational.
Oh, very Actually, that's funny you say that, because today I was, you know, and then this morning I didn't get any sleep because, you know, she goes, we'll talk about this later. And I know that means she's going to try to wrap me up. So I'm sitting here thinking in my head, I started making a list of all the stuff that's happened over the past couple of years. I mean, I got pages and pages of stuff to use as artillery, quote unquote. And, actually I started listing all the reasons, or all the things she wrote me up for, and then found other things that she had done for other people that shows that she uses preferential treatment. And believe me, it's a long list. I mean, for example, like, the time that she wrote me up for when I was having my panic attack, that's illegal. I mean, you can't even do that. That's like if you had a headache. I did have a headache. You send somebody home, or if they're sick or whatever.
Right. And
she didn't want to view it, because when I talked to her about that, I told her that should just be taken off my record. So I had the paperwork. I brought it with me. Right. So I could, all of my hospital stays and stuff, and where they diagnosed me with anxiety and blah, blah, blah. And she's just in denial. She's like, that's not how that happened. That's not how it happened. I go, no, that's how that happened. But you just don't want to admit that, you know what I mean? She's always right, of course, so.
Right.
But, so anyway, so yeah. So she's like, we'll talk tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm just preparing for the worst. And I'm like, oh, snap. And I went in today and it was Nick. And me and Nick get along perfectly fine. And I just started working, and I was working for a couple hours. And then, he took me to the office. I guess Amanda was working at night.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got off a while ago. I was just sulking. He takes me in there and he's like, so I heard there was another situation with you and Amanda. And she goes, and I wasn't even, when it happened, it was a 30-second conversation.
Yeah.
I wasn't confrontational at all.
Yeah.
I was really apologetic, and I was like, because I knew she's just trying to go for me. So I'm like, I didn't know. I honestly didn't know you had to take a lunch in the first 6 hours. I've done this before. Mm-hmm. There's many drivers that have done this before. You know, she goes, everybody knows. And I'm like, so you're assuming, you're just assuming that? Like, I didn't know. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't think it matters. As long as you take a 30-minute lunch sometime in your shift, then you took a 30-minute lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. And I thought they were just going to write me up or something.
Right.
But anyway, so Nick's like, he's like, I don't know, we're waiting for an email back from, whoever, the GM and this and that. And I'm like, he's like, but Amanda works tonight. And he's like, I think, we're just going to have to suspend you. And I go, well, how about I just quit? I'm like, I'm tired of working with her. She obviously can't let stuff go. I go, I have tried to work with her. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, I know. It's just unhealthy. This and that. I go, yeah, she's unhealthy for the company. I go, everybody else loves me here. Mm-hmm. I mean, and it was really sad. I was just going out to everybody, like, because they're saying they're going to put me on suspension and then talk with all the managers and the GM and then talk with me, I don't know, maybe they could move me to a different parlor or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? I just don't deserve to be treated like this, because one person that I've made a huge effort in trying to reconcile or to try to be professional and push this aside, And I mean, I'm willing to let anything go. I mean, yeah, she hates me and whatever, but believe me, I've had girlfriends that have hated me more, and I've forgiven. And I don't have to sleep with her, although I'd like to, just out of spite, but, I mean, I already have, I just told him, I go, look, I've already been looking for another job, and I have another job lined up, so I'm just gonna part ways,
Yeah.
And I was just talking to everybody, and they're like, what? Like, I was like, yeah, Amanda suspended me, so I'm just gonna quit. Like, I'm just not gonna deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's just like, oh man, Norm, dude, that sucks. And then everybody starts coming at me with their stories,
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm on Amanda's shit list too, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Oh, it just sucks. It's kind of, out of 60 employees, the one person I don't get along with happens to be the store manager.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you know what? This whole year, hey, at least on my resume I can put 2013 to 2016.
Hey, there you go.
And it looks long. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even though I barely started in 2013 and made it one day into 2016, it looks like I was there 4 years.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When I was there just a little over 2.
Yeah. I'm really sorry, Norm. I know you liked that job.
Yeah, I liked the job. I liked all the people.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, and you know what's great is in the past I would have got wasted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'd have gotten really depressed. I mean, I was sad, but I'm not sad that I'm leaving the job. I don't know if you would consider it fired or quit. I quit.
Right.
They didn't fire me.
Right.
I would have thought like, oh, it's the end of the world and nobody likes me, blah, blah, blah. But, you know what? I need to get out of there anyways. I need a fresh start.
You
I
need to
like
get out of there for your mental health.
for my mental health, and I like getting fresh starts at places
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know. I just like getting fresh starts.
Yeah.
It makes me feel excited about life,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I get to meet new people, and
Yeah.
so I think I think a couple options I have are Sizzle Pie,
Mm-hmm.
you know, downtown Broadway, and
That'd be sweet downtown.
yeah, or Sizzle Pie, or a taxi driver. I thought a taxi driver would be cool because I can drive.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I do is drive.
Right.
I get to meet new people all the time, and I get to spread my word.
Yeah.
You know, especially when I'm giving people that are wasted.
Yeah, but I hear that's a really tough job.
I don't know. You know, there's been some drivers that have left Papa's and all been taxi drivers.
Yeah.
Like Andrea, David, and Alex just left recently.
I mean, I've heard it's hard to make a living at it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it depends on how good. Well, I'm trying to get a hold of them to see
Mhm.
how much they make.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if it's only $10 an hour, I'd probably just take my chances at Sizzle Pie.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it'd be cool because I've already delivered pizzas. You know, maybe to do something different.
Right.
And it's great for stories, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Great for stories, and that was probably one of my favorite things about delivering pizzas was stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, of just dumb people or seeing crazy stuff or running into people. I mean, I see people I know on a daily basis when I'm driving around town all the time.
Yeah.
Or delivering. I mean, actually, I almost delivered a cat today, my friend Kat.
Yeah.
Did you see the video of me in the dress?
Yeah.
The one where I'm, like, dancing?
Yeah.
She gave me that dress for Christmas. I've got 4 dresses now in my collection and 5 wigs.
Very nice.
I'm becoming a full-blown tranny, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Are you proud of me?
I sure am.
I'm no tranny. It's funny because there's people that actually dress as transsexuals to, I don't, you know, they like it,
Mm-hmm.
but I like it in a different way. It's shock value.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of sad that I can get shock value to something like that because our society is like really closed-minded about stuff like that, but I like it.
I think it's hilarious that you're either wearing pants underneath or you've got some shorts on rolled up.
You know what's the best part? Yeah, exactly. The best part, no, it was when the other night when I had that dress on, I had long johns on because I had no underwear. And there was like a prom dress that went up to like the knees, and so if I lifted it up, you'd see my junk. You know what I mean? Not that I'm embarrassed by it, but I didn't want to scare any of the girls, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Because it wasn't scary enough already.
Yeah. No, I meant from the size. To scare them. Like, oh my god. Oh yeah. Oh, Garrett just texted me. It's Saturday, right? Hey, I get a couple days off. And you know what? I was like, this is going to be great. I'm going to write some songs tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have a lot of energy behind it. And, you know, I don't know. Last year was just very eventful. I used to, like I said, I would have gotten drunk and depressed about it, but I'm viewing this as an opportunity. You know,
Yeah.
to do something different and to move on with my life and to get out of a bad situation. You know, I mean, if you think about it, everything in my life has changed. I've got a new house. I broke up with my girlfriend. I got clean. I got a bum eye. I quit my job.
Yeah.
It's like I started my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like 2015 was a big year.
Lots of big events.
A big year.
We'd be running for president this year.
I mean, I can.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to, but I need to concentrate my efforts elsewhere.
I got you.
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to win. And actually, that's cool you brought that up because I'm really behind Bernie Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
I swore I would never vote again.
I know.
I mean, you remember.
Yeah.
Last time I voted was 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that was the only time I've ever voted.
Mm-hmm.
Because in 2000, I was probably just getting drunk and high all the time. I just didn't care.
Right.
And I was just like lackluster, you know, like Gore versus Bush. And I was like, bleh. I mean, in hindsight, I wish I would have voted for Gore, even though he would have lost. And because I'm in a red state too.
Mm-hmm.
But I voted for Kerry because Bush had been in office for 4 years and I just hated him. Yeah. And, you know, the whole Iraq war, Afghanistan war.
Right.
It was just like disaster. 9/11, never forget. And, hey, Mom, want to hear a joke? Knock.
Who's there?
9/11.
9/11 who?
I thought you said you'd never forget. Somebody told me that joke 2 weeks after it happened. And I was like, wow, that's too soon.
Yeah. I read today that, according to a poll, 30% of Americans don't know when 9/11 happened.
Like what year?
Or the date.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
When was 9/11? Like
I just thought they meant
September 16th or something.
Oh, I just thought that meant that he died 9/11 when it happened. Wow.
Yeah.
People are dumb.
So good times. Hey, have any of the songs you've written tonight called Amanda Sucks or Amanda Blows?
It was funny last night because I was hanging out with Luke and Garrett.
Yeah.
And I just kept saying, I hate my manager, like over and over again. And it just started becoming very cathartic. And I was like, did I mention I hate my manager? And they're like, could you just shut up about her? I wrote a song. Oh, I'll show you after this.
Remember Eddie Murphy's skits on SNL? Kill My Landlord.
Yeah, that was great. So, yep, I moved on.
Good.
I'm gonna take a few days off. I don't know, I'll probably go on Monday. Or I have my eye doctor appointment on Monday, and then I'll probably I'm still technically on probation. They don't even know I've quit, really. I didn't tell them I quit.
Right.
I just said, well, I have another job, and they're like, well, we'll all meet and blah blah blah. But I think I'm just gonna go and talk to Brandon.
Yeah.
Without everybody around.
Right.
Because everybody's in denial about everything. She's going to deny everything and then try to turn around on me and make me seem bad. And I want to get him where I can just be open and honest and not have her just rebutting everything and lying. I mean, and so because I'm not going to tell him the names of the people that are considering leaving and don't like her at all and consider a lot of her behavior unacceptable or unprofessional too. I'm not gonna go blow because then obviously it's gonna be retaliatory. And I'm still even hesitant about telling Brandon, but well, I don't know. He's not gonna go, oh yeah, so and so said this and Susie said that and Bob's gonna leave and
of course he's not gonna say that.
I don't think he's gonna tell her that. I think Brandon doesn't like her either. I don't think she likes Brandon because I think Brandon took her job as the general manager, as the district or general manager. So I think she's hella jealous.
You know who loves her?
Who?
Her mother.
True. And you know what? This is what's crazy. In the past, I would have hated her guts. And you know what? I mean, dude, I don't know. I really don't want to hate her. Maybe that's the codependent part in me. Is I want to change her. I want to fix her, Mom.
Yeah.
I really do. I want to see her enjoy her life more. And maybe she does need to get another job somewhere.
Yeah.
And switch it up and do something different.
Might be the best thing that ever happens to her.
For her.
Yeah.
And for a lot of the people that work there. But when you start taking out on people and affecting their livelihood, I mean, they were cutting my hours and stuff.
I know.
And I said, that's so unprofessional. And actually, I could probably get them in trouble with the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, because they knew I had an eye condition. I'd stated it many times, even in writing. I wish I'd taken a picture of the letter I wrote them stating, hey, could I please get some day shifts? It's way easier for me to see during the day.
Yeah.
And they just, whatever. And then I talked to Nick about a month after that, and he's just like, well, I'll try, but, everybody's got their shifts, and it's hard to... And I go, well, yeah, these are all people that have been there way less time than me. I have seniority and I have a disability. And so what you're saying is, oh yeah, you've got a disability, but we don't care.
Yeah. Because
we're mad at you for something. You know, and well, if you're that mad, fire me. But if you're not going to fire me, you should give me the hours that I earned because I've been here longer.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have something else to bitch about, Mom. I'm going to find something else to bitch and complain about. I don't want to bitch and complain anymore. I just want to... You know what? You can't please all the people all the time. You can only please some of the people some of the time.
Mm-hmm. Who said that?
I don't know.
John F. Kennedy.
Oh, he did? Are you sure?
He said you can please some of the people all of the time. You can please all of the people some of the time. But you can't please all of the people.
Oh, that's the real quote?
I believe so.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Well, cool. I wish we would have got that first part. That was really funny, the first few minutes that were all screwed up. Well, hey, see how easy it is?
Yeah.
It's easy. It's just like we're talking like normal. I actually feel really comfortable with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to impress Garrett and Aaron.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Especially because most of what I do is listen.
You're true. You're right. And I'm always trying to talk over them.
Yeah.
I know. I need to get better at listening. You know the saying, a smart man talks, a wise man listens.
Mm-hmm.
And that does make a lot of sense.
It's frustrating to some people I've dated in the past.
What, that you listen too much?
Yeah.
Because you don't talk enough?
Yeah.
You know, that's weird. You say that because I've noticed that the one relationship I had that worked well was Cheryl. She was a great listener.
Mm-hmm.
She would just let me rant for hours and just listen. And sometimes I'd have to say, you know, are you going to talk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to talk?
Mm-hmm.
And, no, that sucks. She got married. Well, like I've always said, I'm going to take my time. I had a gay man try to convert me, though, because he saw me in the dress. And, well, at Cats. Yeah. And he was saying, you know, I always had dreams of turning a straight man gay, you know. And I'm like, it's not going to happen. Sorry, Jesse. Although, at this point in my life, I hate women enough to where I've considered it. I considered it after Chrissy, too, and I just can't do it. I just need to find a better woman, but I just can't be gay.
Yeah.
Don't be gay.
Don't be gay, Norm. Don't be gay.
I'm just, you know, I prefer to torture myself. Sometimes I wish I'd rather just stab my thing with a fork or something.
Oh, God.
And I'd rather do that than stab my heart with a fork.
You know, also 30% of Americans believe that being homosexual is a decision that you make.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was reading this article today about 30% of Americans believe.
It's not a decision you make, but
30% of Americans believe that.
Yeah.
You can choose to be gay or choose not
well,
to be gay.
That's ridiculous. But there's... I don't know how I feel about this. This is actually a really good topic. I like that you brought that up. Because on Loveline, their philosophy is there's two types of gay people. There's ones that are created in a lab and ones that are born that way. Created in the lab, or born that way, is obviously they're just born that way.
Right.
And created in the lab is the type that something traumatic happened to them.
Right.
And I'm always willing to change my opinion and everything, but the more and more I study things like biological process, the more I understand how they affect people. And so I think sexuality, if you think about it, any kid doesn't have a sexuality. when they're 3 years old.
Right.
They don't have a sexuality. So I think whether you're straight, bi, gay, transsexual, I think the biological process affects that. It affects everybody. So what I guess I'm saying is nobody is born gay, nobody's born straight. The experiences that happen to you throughout your childhood,
I see what you're saying.
the experiences that affect you throughout your life shape your sexuality. And that goes for anything. If you have a domineering mom, you could be gay. If you have an abusive father, you could be gay. Or if you had a man molest you, you could be gay. Or if you had a woman molest you, you could be straight. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or
it's the old nature versus nurture.
Or you could, like in my example, have been molested by a man and be straight. Well, that might go against my argument. Because then I'd be saying that if I was born straight. But I think that the biological process, just like the biological process affects anything. Well, I'm really starting to think right now. I'm actually having a little brainstorm right now. Because things like schizophrenia and bipolar and depression and mental health conditions are partially biological and partially genetic. So
your life's experiences can change actually the physiology of your brain.
There we go. So, but what I'm saying is like, let's say it's a schizophrenic. Let's say one of your parents is schizophrenic and you're exposed to it a lot, or you're genetically inclined to have it. Doesn't mean you're going to have it.
Right.
But you're more genetically, because you had a parent that had it. It's programmed in their DNA, so to say, just like alcoholism or whatever. And then being exposed to it through the biological process can also maybe increase your odds or give you more of an inkling for it. I don't know.
That's why they do a lot of tests with twins who are separated at birth to see how one was raised versus the other. And, the traits they both have, they attest to nature. And the traits that they differ on, they attest to nurture, meaning the way that they were raised.
The biological process. That's what the biological process means. Okay, say that again. So
nature versus nurture.
No, but I mean, you're saying the differences in the twins.
Yeah, so you have identical twins, right? They're set up for adoption. One goes to one family, one goes to another.
Yeah.
And so they, whenever they want to do tests on specific things, just like this question, they check out twins.
But what you were saying, the specific part about the nature, the things they attest to.
The things that they have in common, they say that must be nature. That must be something
they were born
that they
with
inherit.
it genetically.
Yeah. And the things that they differ on, they assign to nurture. And it's surprising, really surprising, how many things people have in common, even though they're raised in different environments, if they're twins.
Oh yeah.
Like two sets of twins.
Well, what are we talking about though? Physical traits, mental traits. I mean, of course they're gonna look the same.
No, they both grew up in completely different environments and grew up to be doctors.
Really?
But they both like the same kinds of music, or yeah.
Well, that would make sense though, because apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and regardless of where they're being raised, they still have the same genetic makeup. So, here would be a great example. Let's say one of their parents was an alcoholic. Doesn't matter where they're born, they have the genetic predisposition for alcoholism.
Right.
So, it probably... Okay, here we go.
What if they were adopted by a family who is Mormon or in some other ways that they have no
But there's still 50. It's still 50-50.
Yeah, but they have no influence. They're never introduced to alcohol.
Okay. So this is very, very interesting. Okay, so you have two twins. One of their biological parents was an addict. Mm-hmm. Let's say one of them was raised in a straight edge family, no drugs, no alcohol, great environment, and one was raised by, drug addict, alcoholic, abusive people.
Right.
So does the biological process influence that 50-50 percentage? So the person that is exposed to it, they have the biology, which is an automatic 50-50. So there's a 50% chance they could be an addict, there's a 50% chance they couldn't be. But because of the biological process, mm-hmm. now they have an 80% chance of being an addict. And the other one has a lower percentage because even though it's genetically in there, they weren't exposed to it, and they have better boundaries and a better upbringing and everything. So they're not. Wow, that's crazy. That's okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Okay, here's something to blow your mind, and this was discovered just in the past month. That your life experiences can change your DNA.
Oh, no. I already knew that.
And the DNA that you pass on to your children.
I already knew that. This is how. Let's say you had two parents that aren't addicts. There's no addiction in your family. Mm-hmm. You can turn yourself into an addict. Mm-hmm. But just by you start drinking or using a drug or something and you get addicted to it and you get...
Yeah, but that's not actually changing your DNA.
Yeah, it is. Because then, let's say for 10 years you get wasted.
Right.
Now you literally have programmed that into your DNA. So now when you go out and have a kid and you pass that genetic, that genetic on, now the kid has a 50-50 chance. Mm-hmm. Even though the grandparents of that one person had no addiction history. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the DNA is used to having a substance in it, because you're putting the substance in your body. Let's say it's alcohol, and you're drinking every day for 10 years. Now your DNA is used to having that substance in it, and so when you pass on that gene,
no, that's not the way DNA works.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, now I'm gonna have to look this up. But I'm pretty sure I've heard.
Yeah. No, but this DNA changing thing is brand new. And it's a shocker.
Oh yeah, so back to my whole original thing I was talking about how I figured out. Hold on one sec.
Norman checking his phone again.
Well, Garrett wants to write from work and whatever.
Oh, okay.
I figured out one of the most effective ways to tackle this issue is to get people before they have kids at least. Because this is an interesting thing is, okay, so you don't know somebody's an addict until they start doing something.
Right.
So it's like, let's say you get some 15-year-old kid who's never used drugs and alcohol, mm-hmm. and one of his parents is an addict, so they have the 50-50 predisposition to get it.
Right.
But you don't know they're going to be an addict until they start using and abusing it and develop patterns and mm-hmm. momentum with it. So you have no idea if they're going to be an addict or not, blah, blah, blah. They start using, they get addicted, then they have a kid at 21 or something, or 25 even, you know what I mean? And now their kid's going to, they're going to be a bad parent, and their kid's going to be effed up.
Right.
But if you can get that kid, let's say they start drinking and partying or something at 15 or 16, and you get more information out there, you get more programs. Like, I thought of these great ideas for schools. Require them in high school or something to take a psychology class. Require them to take life skills classes where they learn how to file taxes. Or this guy that I worked with teaches this class where kids bring in real life questions and they troubleshoot them. Like, they bring in questions for everything ranging from, how do I get into college to my mom's using drugs a lot and my dad's beating on us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some serious stuff.
I mean, these could be just random questions they just stick in a box.
And then, and then
nobody knows who writes the questions.
Exactly. And then the kids break off and talk about it.
Right.
And then then they all get together and talk about it.
That sounds awesome.
But getting the knowledge out there and getting people to understand how stuff works, requiring students to meet with, well, they always have to meet with the guidance counselor, but they meet with the guidance counselor for, I mean, I remember mine. I think I met with him for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, well, basically you're a loser. You have bad grades and you're okay at sports. You know, what do you want to do with your life? I want to be an astronaut. All right, go fucking fly off into space and never be seen again. No, I'm just kidding. I always say that. No, I'm just kidding. I just need to stop saying that and just let people
JK.
think I'm being facetious, but they don't really know.
Hey, I want to get something at Walmart. I could go pick up Garrett.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we could just go. Let's just go together.
Okay.
What do I need to get at Walmart? Yeah, I'm almost done. But I just thought that was a great conversation about genetic nature versus nurture, genetic.
Mm-hmm.
But oh yeah, but my whole thing. I mean, I've got a whole list of ways to tackle this issue. But I think that's really important because if we can get these kids and these young adults before they start having kids,
yeah,
and get them to at least hold off. Get women on birth control. They've got a new birth control for men. Get men on it. Get them using protection. Get them. I mean, this is some hard, heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Not the DARE program.
Right.
But an actual entire semester class taught by a therapist.
Yeah.
Or a psychologist, or somebody who has a degree in psychology, or somebody who knows how to use great empathy skills and isn't, because you get the DARE instructors, it's some cop, and he's just like, drugs are bad, rural Western, we'll bust your ass, and we're going to put you in jail. And
just say no.
Threaten them. No, I'm talking get people in there and say, look, man, tell them stories. And then these kids will start identifying with these people because they're growing up around it. Because when I was growing up around it, I didn't know anything was wrong. I didn't know anything. I was living in this bubble. I wasn't educated on it.
Right.
We're not educating kids on mental health issues and addiction problems and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And get them thinking. Because if I would have started thinking of this stuff when I was 15, 16, I didn't even know I was depressed. I knew there was something wrong with me. But I was like, what is this? Why do I feel like shit all the time? What's wrong with me? Why do I hate I wanted to kill myself. Mm-hmm. I had girlfriends breaking up with me because I was too depressed. You know what I mean? And I didn't know I could do anything to change it.
Right.
I just thought this was going to be how I was going to be for the rest of my life. I thought that's how I was going to be. I didn't realize that, and unfortunately I'm 36 now. And, I didn't realize I could start changing this until my 30s. I wish I could have realized this 15 years ago because, oh my God, Mom, I mean, imagine what I could have accomplished. I can't harp on the past, but I can use this knowledge to maybe help somebody in the future.
Yeah.
We really need to start, reevaluating. And believe me, students are taking a lot of useless classes, like some of these advanced math classes. You know how I feel about them. I'd much rather them take a class like this, because think of how much a class like this would help our society, other than a trigonometry class that the kid's going to forget all about in 10 years anyways, and he's never going to use it. But I digress. I'm just saying, they really need to, in the next episode, I'll go over my list and the whole. I mean, it's a very.
I think it sounds like a great class, but don't get rid of trigonometry.
Yeah, right. It's a very comprehensive list of some things we could do. Universal health care, more mental health facilities, more psychologists, more psychiatrists. Mm-hmm. Educating people, not making stigmas around mental health and addiction, and not judging, addicts and homeless people and. All that. Oh, look, Floof come in the studio. What's up, dude?
Oh, buddy.
All right, well, that was great. Look at that, Mom. An hour and, 10 minutes?
We can always have good conversations.
I know. But I'm just saying, that was easy to do an hour.
Yeah.
And I didn't go anywhere with anything. I didn't do the intro, none of the games, the outro, the all that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't get any games. I feel really.
I know. You've heard my games. You don't want to play my games. It's funny because this episode is so completely.
I feel like Rudolph. I feel like I'm being picked on because I'm your mom. You won't play any games with me.
Aww. You never met. Joining any reindeer games. It's so funny because the other episodes are so ridiculous, and this episode's like so serious. It's like you're all over the map, dude. All right. Well, yeah, cool. I guess I'll just put this out there, and you're gonna be famous, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be crazy one day if, like, one day I translate this all into something and we're like walking down the red carpet together somewhere, or people are like, "Oh my God, you're Kate Kevin from that radio show." I just said your last name, but
thank you. It's okay. I've already been famous.
Really? How?
In the physics world.
No. I knew you were gonna say that. You physics dork. No. What? Is there a bunch of kids sitting around playing D&D, like making Kate quotes?
No, but I did go to a meeting once at the American Physical Society, and they're like, "Oh, I know you."
Really?
Yeah.
American Physics
Yeah,
Society?
American Institute of Physics.
Oh, wow.
In Maryland.
People would be like, "Oh my God, you're Norm's mom. You're so sweet and nice." I'm so tired of hearing that.
They don't know the truth.
Yeah, I want people to be like, "Norm, you're cool. Your mom's okay." All right, cool.
You're cool because your mom is okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's go pick up Garrett.
Okay.
Cool. All right, thanks out there in podcast land. Peace out.
Adios.